Hello and welcome to Trekkie Tuesdays. For this episode, The Trouble with Tribbles, we felt it deserved a very special guest star, Henry!
Henry!
Hello! Hi, I'm his cousin.
It's true.
It's true. A new Star Trek expert here.
Yeah, I used to be a Star Wars fan, but now I definitely prefer Star Trek, and this is the first one I've ever seen. Can you believe it? It's so cool!
So what happens in this episode?
Well, in this episode, what happens is at the Space Center, at the bar area, apparently, a selling man comes in, and he sells just one triple to the bartender, and then the leader of communications comes in and asks for that triple, and then so the bartender gets the money for it, but then the bartender says he'll offer more for what he offered to the man to buy it. So then the man who he bought it from, the seller, takes it back, and that's how the whole triple problem started. Along the way, you'll find out about the grain, which I do not remember the name, which is actually kind of funny. Speaking that, I'm exactly like the captain. Oh, come on, you forget the name. What's happening?
Okay, why don't you explain what a tribble is, because they might not know.
A tribble is a little furry creature that reproduces while eating.
Truth.
Yeah, and what do they look like?
They look like little fuzzballs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they hate Klingons.
That was
They'll be like,
That's right.
with Klingons.
Are they cute, or like what's good about them?
They're cute. Bad thing, they reproduce while eating. Worst thing, there can be billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of them.
It's the trouble with tribbles.
You said the triple with triples.
Did I?
You kind of did.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Well, that's the triple. The cat mixed up with triple and triple. See? I mean triple and trouble. I mean, it's just a problem.
So, which was your favorite character in Star
Well,
Trek?
personally, my favorite character would have to be Captain Clark. Finally,
Captain
remember
Kirk.
the name.
Yeah.
Kurt. See, I forgot the name.
It's not an uncommon name. Yes. Why do you like Captain Kirk?
Because he always just likes to make a little funny maneuver, like me.
What would you say is the main difference between Star Trek and Star Wars?
Well, in Star Trek, it's more of an expedition, where in Star Wars, it's more of a basically fighting. So, like in Star Wars, it's more unsettled, whereas in Star Trek, there's no nature fight, except in this episode where they punch the Klingons in the face.
I didn't mean to say that the Enterprise should haul garbage. I said it should be hauled away as garbage.
Oh yeah! That's what he didn't exactly do, but he did punch it like this.
And it starts a whole fight.
Which causes problems with the captain, goes on until eventually he gets forgiven.
So, Spock.
Hey, Sarah isn't in here.
Oh, okay.
Spock keeps talking about how he's immune to how cute the tribbles are.
But as he said that, he was rapping one like, I guess he really does show a human side. I've gained a fear of tribbles. Because they'll regrow, because they'll be there and there and there and keep on going and going and going and going. They could fill up all of New York City in under 1 year.
It's true. At the rate of growth we see, they
And
would...
fill up every single building and fill up every single street up to the Freedom Tower.
A lot of tribbles.
And that is only in New York. In about 1 decade, they could fill up the whole world.
So at the...
If they're well fed, that is, or overfed. By the way, I suggest only 1 Cheerio for a day with them, because if you fill them 1 bowl of cereal a day, you'll get a lot of tribbles.
At the end of the episode,
Yeah?
Kirk is mad at the seller man because he sold them 1 tribble and then it got into the grain and turned into a lot of tribbles. So he says he has to spend the next 17 years of his life cleaning
Picking up every tribble. Or he could spend 20 years in jail. Well, actually, it was 17.5.
It's true. Spock calculated it very precisely.
Go Spock!
If you were the captain, would you make people go to jail for 20 years?
Well, if they were selling tribbles, I would give them a nice little butt smack first, because never sell tribbles, especially in a well-fed place.
So you believe in corporal punishment?
Yes. And I'd also like to give him a good punch like what he did to Klingons.
He didn't punch the Klingons, that was Scotty, right?
Yeah.
It's true. Kirk was mad that they started a fight. Because they're not at war with the Klingons. They signed a peace treaty, which we saw in a different episode.
Ew.
Although the interesting thing was that they called it the Organian Peace Treaty, and we saw that the Organians are people who don't really believe in the idea of development, meaning that everything gets all built up and there you build cities everywhere.
So
But-
they're just like simple, so like they had rock houses.
That's right. But they also secretly are beings made of pure energy who can do anything they want.
Oh, so they're just deciding now to? Not to make something totally awesome, like 55 bajillion years from now, and the sun doesn't explode.
It's true, they could do that, and they don't.
Okay, I'm mad at that because I really don't want all of existence to end.
It's a good point.
I'd like to wait at least till the big chill, wiping out all creatures, immediately freezing them. Bye!
So you think it's bad that the Organians don't use their power more? You don't like it when there are aliens that have lots of power, but they choose not to use it?
If you were an Organian and you held up two fake bronze coins, you'd be looking at three of the most worthless things in the world.
Because their hands would get red hot if they tried to hit each other.
But so how come the engineer guy hit a Klingon and he didn't get burnt?
That's a good point.
In the next episode, we'll be talking about wait, what was the next episode?
What was the next episode?
Well, we're
The
gonna
Gamesters of Triskelion. Yes.
where we'll be talking about just how much of gangsters they are compared to Earth gangsters.
Gamesters, not gangsters.
Oh, what are gamesters?
People who play games.
Oh, the tricky games.
No.
Oh,
Maybe that's why they call them Triskelion, because they're tricky. But
oh.
we haven't watched it yet.
So now you know Tribbles or Tribble. Get it? Tribble, trouble. Oh, also watch that episode too, so you know the joke. Then you can laugh all you want.
Makes sense. All right, you have anything else to say?
Yes, I also have to say this. A teeny tiny comparison. I actually think that the Mammalian Falcon in Star Wars might actually have a higher capacity than the Enterprise, because it can go through hyperspace, while the Enterprise mostly can only project other things out there. So the Mammalian Falcon is probably a bit more firepower than the Enterprise, especially because it has laser shooters opened up at all times, whereas the phasers really don't do anything. So yeah, that's why I prefer the Mammalian Falcon.
Well, I hope you settled that question. People have been arguing about that for 30 years.
Really?
Really?
Okay.
Say thank you to our special guest star, Henry.
Ta-da! Not fully in the screen.
Oh.
I can't see this side of your head.
No, but that's the most important side of my head. So,
We're gonna edit that little piece out where his head was cut off like ting.